Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Micah Let's Plays, and guess who I am? I'm Micah, cause who else would I be? Guys, I am so excited. On today's gamer discussion videos, we're going to be covering 3 different games today. First, we're going to be talking about Assassin's Creed Valhalla, we're going to be talking about Marvel's Avengers, and we're even going to talk about the mysterious leak of Mass Effect Trilogy Remaster. I am so excited. But before I jump into all the juiciness, I made an intro just for you. Enjoy! Wink!
Now loading Micah's Let's Play.
I know, I'm too good to you. Okay, guys, last month on July 12th, Ubisoft actually did Ubi Forward with a huge event that they did online where they showcased quite a few games. One of the games I was particularly interested in was Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Now, for those of you who don't know, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is featuring a whole new protagonist by the name of Eivor, and this is going to be set during the 9th century England, and of course during the Viking era and all that good stuff. Basically, a lot of real world history events in a fictional universe. Isn't that awesome? Now, let's talk about this. So, what we got to see, there was an after show with one of the devs, his name was Fuzz, and he was showing this awesome gameplay footage of how the game will be played, the mechanics, and a little bit of the story. And I also wanted to give a huge shout out to Ubisoft for this, is that they actually picked the female version of Eivor. So, it was very forward of them to do that. But dad jokes. You've been warned. Okay, guys, so now when you get to see this clip, it's a quest that's already kind of like taken place, and it's like the assault of Burke Castle. That's what they called it. And in the footage, you get to see Eivor and her squad of Vikings going into this place, and they're taking out enemies. And one of the things that Fez talked about was one of the specific things he talked about was this enemy that she faced called Ruid. Ruid is, I guess, an enemy that you face before this quest. He's basically causing problems, and basically him and the guy named Oswald bump heads, and Oswald loses to him and is captured, and Eivor needs to kind of basically, use him as an ally as they grow their territory in England. And I thought that was really cool, so I was very interested to see how it played out. And one of the things I really acknowledged and I thought was so cool was the new combat system that we get to see. Now, with this new combat system, one thing I noticed, and I mentioned this back in a past gamer discussion video where they were showing the Unreal Engine reveal. And I was talking about, they were talking about the Niagara system, and they were talking about the nanites and all that other craziness. And I was wondering, since this new system allows people, the nanite system allows them to, not nanite, it was called the Niagara system, allowed these characters, like the in-game, the unplayable characters to communicate. One thing I noticed is that the enemies seem to really utilize each other's strengths and weaknesses when fighting Eivor. So I remember in the past I mentioned you see a picture of Eivor, at the time I said swords, but it was axes, and one of the enemies was vaulting off the other enemy's shield to attack Eivor, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. One thing one of the other things that Fez really highlighted was the combat system with Eivor, making it more brutal, more gritty, more like, this is true like war, and I really appreciated the realistic touches to this game. I thought it was impressive. And it seems like you can do dual hand wielding with weapons, so you can have dual axes, dual swords, dual shields. I mean, you can have a lot of fun with this new fighting system that I noticed. On top of that, it looks like Eivor could do axe throwing, and I thought that was really cool. So to me, that looks really exciting. And then, of course, just like in the original games, you can do like that special sight where you can kind of see where everything is, and Eivor could also do that too in this game. Also, I believe you can also use the little crow, which is also a symbol of Odin in Viking mythology. Odin always has like ravens about him, so you get to use a raven that kind of does like a bird's eye view for you. So I thought that was really cool. I liked how they show a lot of the like a lot of the in-world mechanics of how Eivor's decisions really have massive impacts, good or bad. So basically, no matter what you're doing in this gaming world, there's always going to be some type of consequence. For example, with Ruad, basically when you defeat him at the siege of Birch Castle, what ends up happening is that you have a choice to either kill him like a Viking would, or allow him to face the Lord's justice, or as Oswald would say, let him face the judgment or whatever. And if you choose to allow him to live, he comes back later during Oswald's wedding when he marries his woman, and you can either let Oswald fight him or you can fight him yourself. And I thought, if I'm playing, I'm definitely gonna make Eivor get in there and handle that mess because he's the new king. He needs to be spared. You know what I mean? So I like those little things, and I loved how the devs also touched on, again, a lot of your decisions have massive consequences, and I thought that was actually one of my favorite parts because I love a game where, there is no real right answer. Everything is a little gray, and I think that makes the game more realistic. It makes the story more immersive. So personally, I'm here for it. I want to see how all my decisions will really have impact. Another thing that I wanted to highlight, and I think I wanted to really acknowledge, was the whole thing where you can do like the so-called rap battles with Eivor, where basically you have to use verse and rhyme to kind of insult each other. I forgot the proper term for it, but I thought that was really cool in the game. Another thing I thought was pretty amazing was when you're playing the game, and one of the things I really appreciate about the game is that when you're exploring the world and you're seeing how you do certain things to like solve certain puzzles. One of the things I noticed, there was this house, and in there Eivor had to figure out a way to get inside the house. So I like that. I thought that was very unique. Also, you can do something called stacking with rocks. I guess they call them Karens, and you can actually stack the Karens up, and you can do them however you want. I thought that was really cool. So I'm really liking the mini games. I like how you actually get to live like a Viking in this game, because a lot of the stuff that they're doing is like little puzzle solvings, and I like games that make you think. So for me, I'm excited about that. And then I liked how they showed at Oswald's wedding how Eivor gets drunk and how they start using their bow and arrow. Well, actually, in this case, it was a woman. How she was using her bow and arrow and she was drunk trying to do stuff, and I thought that was so cool. So it looks like you're gonna have a lot of fun playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Even though, yes, the devs actually said this is a smaller game in as terms of story and like world itself. It's a lot smaller and more condensed. But I like what I was seeing so far. I even like the little section where you see Eivor talking to the little green walkers, as she called them, in the 30-minute demo that we got to see. So personally, I'm so excited for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I can't wait for it to come out this holiday season when the PS5 drops. So I'm looking forward to getting it. I hope you're looking forward to getting it. But the thing I want to ask you is, what do you think about this new Assassin's Creed Valhalla game? Are you like me, utterly here for it, or it's like you still want to see a little bit more before you really get excited about what this game has to offer in the coming year, in this coming year actually, because I think the game, yeah, drops this year. So again, like I said, I'm excited. I hope you're excited, and I want to hear from you in the comment section down below. But with all that said, guys, we're about to switch gears and talk about Marvel's Avengers and some new stuff that came out a few days ago. So okay, guys, let's talk about this Marvel's Avengers beta we got the other day with IGN. And oh my god, so much good stuff. I'm actually a subscriber on their channel because they always have really good content dropping. Now, let's talk about this beta. Now, in the beta, we actually get to see quite a few things. And I kind of understand where IGN's view of the beta was going, because unfortunately, I never got the chance to play, but I do trust them as a credible source when it comes to gaming. Now, in this beta, you actually get a little bit of the story showcased. You also get some really good footage of the characters. You get to hear the amazing voice actors, which was really cool. And there was even a little hint at what happened to Captain America. So it's hinted, well, not hinted, it is blatantly stated that Captain America was murdered. And I was like, oh my God, I knew something happened to my precious Captain America. But it's okay though. Hopefully, we'll see some more of him later in the story, or maybe there might be some timey-wiminess. I don't know. But with that, it was really exciting, and there was even a little bit of gameplay footage of Hulk and Miss Marvel running around together in a forest. And the funny thing is, ING said the thing I was thinking. I got Last of Us vibes. And funny side note, Bruce and Joel are also, they have the same voice actor, so that's also another really funny like Last of Us joke. The other thing that I really liked that I was seeing, well, this is what IGN was saying, and I kind of am okay with it, but here's my thoughts on it. IGN was actually saying that the combat system varies from character to character. Now, this can be a bad thing and a good thing because some characters are very wild and out. Like, for example, Captain America, not Captain America, Iron Man can fly around and shoot laser beams and all this other stuff. And someone like Miss Marvel is more like a rock'em sock'em, beat 'em up, jump in your face, grab you, and all that other kind of stuff. And then Black Widow is more of like a wild character. She has counters and all these other things that allow her to flip around and shoot and all this stuff. So some characters are more like distant, some characters are more like in your face, and some characters are just Speedy Gonzalez all over the place. And they say the playstyles vary from character to character, and you just find the character that best suits you. Here's where it's a problem. Let's just say you have a particular character you like to use the most, and then you start switching to other characters. The problem is, let's just say your Iron Man is level 11 and your, Thor is level 6. So you would have to say, oh my God, I need to come back and level up Thor before I go back on this mission. So that they noticed was a little bit of a setback. Another thing they were saying about the combat system is that all of the characters have their own set of special moves. So each character has like 3 special moves that they can do. They have their own series of dodges and counters, which I also thought was really interesting. And it seems like Black Widow was the one that they showcased a lot, where she could do a lot of different special counters or dodges when she's fighting. So I thought that was really cool. And I want to learn more about the combat system to understand it a little bit better. Another thing that they mentioned was the armor that you put on, or the costume pieces you put on. They basically say they are invisible and they don't really add too much to the character. And again, this is a beta, and they are going to be working on the game to improve it and maybe make some corrections. But he was saying, but the narrator was saying that it seemed like it kind of took away from the game, and they were like they weren't really excited about the stuff that they found. And it's understandable because, again, it's a beta. They don't want to show all the good stuff right away. But then again, this is a beta. Put your best foot forward. So that's one thing that the narrator from IGN was talking about. And I was like, okay, I can see how that can be a problem. But I personally want to play it myself to give my own honest opinion because I'm going off what someone else is saying. But still, again, I'm excited to see how this is all going to play out. Another thing that they mentioned, now this is something I would be annoyed by, is that when you play online or you're playing the game, let's just say you're co-oping with some friends or some randos, and you guys get separated. If no one has a headpiece, then no one can communicate with one another. So if you have a headpiece on, then of course you can communicate and say where everyone is. But let's just say someone you're playing with doesn't have a headpiece, and someone you're playing with is like Thor and they're off flying and shooting thunder, and you're playing with someone like Miss Marvel who's on the ground and maybe is not able to keep up with you, and you guys get separated, so you can lose track of each other very quickly. And that was a huge, that to me, that's a problem, because you got to find a way to be able to communicate or locate where your team members are, because apparently there's no way to locate anybody. Again, this is a beta. Hopefully they add that in later, but it does seem kind of like a really big oversight. I'm just saying. But one thing that they did say overall, they said the game seemed like it was really fun. They really liked it. They hope that some of these issues get fixed because they really want to see more of the story. Because they said the story is one thing that really seems to set the bar and get you really excited. And the fact that you get to go to the war table and you get to select the missions you want. And again, based on your character's level, you may want to level them up before you start jumping around to certain missions. And another thing that I was really excited about when we got to see that Hawkeye trailer. The Hawkeye trailer I thought was so good where you see Clint, shooting the robots and all that stuff and you hear the narrator talking said an only way to win a war is to go into the past. And I like how you hear someone say Clint and it was like, well, that explains the electrical arrows. And I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so excited." No, personally, I am not a fan of Hawkeye. Here's why I am excited. Because basically, they were saying that this is going to allow you to see how the world is going to constantly expand within this Marvel Avengers universe. And now that the X-Men have been brought back into the fold with Marvel, Marvel proper. I want to see them, some DLC characters in the future, maybe some X-Men, maybe some, I don't know, maybe some more Inhumans, like more famous and popular Inhumans. Like I'm just very curious to see what they're gonna do with these DLC characters. Like, will we get Scarlet Witch? Will we get Vision? Who are these other characters that they're gonna add into this universe? Because this is the Avengers storyline, so I'm curious to see who they're gonna add to this universe. So again, I'm excited. I hope you're excited, and I want to know, what do you guys think about it? Leave me a comment in the comment section down below. Are you really excited for Marvel's Avengers like I am, or it's like, wait, I need to see more, or what I heard from ING? I'm IGN. I'm just not here for it. So let me know. Again, I want to hear your thoughts and opinions. But now that we wrap this up, let's talk about that amazing leak we got the other day with the Mass Effect trilogy. Oh my god, I'm so here for it. I love Commander Shepard. Let's do this. Okay, guys, let's talk about this Mass Effect Trilogy Remaster leak information that dropped the other day. When I first saw this, I was like, oh my god, is this for real? Like, is this for real, for real? Because as you can see on screen, there was a person who works at a store and they were like, hey, our company was doing these pre-orders, and as we were going through the catalog, they saw the Mass Effect 3 Remaster trilogy, and it was like, is this for real? Because they're saying it and I'm saying it. Is this for real? Now mind you, the reason why I'm covering this story, because A, I want this to be true, but B, there are credible YouTubers that I feel I respect, and they seem to be talking about this. Now mind you, this clip that you're seeing was released like maybe 23 days ago or 24 days ago or so, and so this person dropped this information and it was like, oh my god, is this for real? And then also, as you can see on the second image, it was showing the release date. Now mind you, I thought this, if they were going to do this at all, this was going to be on N7 day, which is like November 7th. Now mind you, the only person who I trust with any of this information is Jackdaw. And Jackdaw did a video a few days ago talking about, hey, where's this information for the Mass Effect trilogy? When are they going to release it on N7 day? Because that's kind of what I was hoping for. Because basically, BioWare is releasing all these N7 shirts and merchandise and comics, and there's a lot of stuff that they're dropping regarding this game, more so than the Anthem game that's going on right now, as well as Mass Effect Andromeda is kind of like off the radar, and it's because a lot of people didn't like it, although I'm actually a fan of Mass Effect Andromeda. Don't shoot me, I do like the game, though I do see the problems. But nevertheless, apparently this game is coming out, and as you can see, it's coming out September of this year. So it's kind of like, wait, is this true? Is this really going to happen? Because when you think about it, guys, this is the perfect time for them to drop this remaster right before the PS5's launch. And of course, we're getting Dragon Age 4 coming out in a couple of years. So I think this is the perfect time for them to do it. And not to mention, this will be my very first time ever playing the Mass Effect series. Now, some of you are like, wait, Micah, how the hell are you a fan of Mass Effect? Well, silly, there's this thing called YouTube and people who do Let's Plays, and they play the entire Mass Effect series from 1, 2, and 3, and I've seen them all. I've even watched Angelarts' channel. His link will be in the video description, as well as Jackdaw's information will be in the video description as well. And I watched his entire playthrough of Mass Effect, all three of them. So the fact that we're getting a remaster, that means it'll be my first time playing it, a game that I've always liked but have never had the opportunity to play because I don't own a PS2 or PS3. I have a PS4, and it's like my first time really getting back into gaming like I used to when I was a kid and in my early 20s. So I'm so excited to be, now a part of this amazing franchise. And with them remastering Mass Effect, that means they got a Mass Effect game up their sleeve, and you already know that BioWare is already working on Dragon Age 4, which I can't wait for. And I'm doing a Let's Play of Dragon Age 3 on my channel, so don't worry, that's coming as well. So what I want to know is that with this remaster that they're doing, are they going to upgrade the gameplay, like the mechanics, because a lot of people say, Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, of course, there's the game increases, like the mechanics increase, where you can kind of like jump over stuff, the shooting is better, you get some extra little features you didn't have in the first game. So are they going to enhance the gameplay mechanics for Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, or only 1? And then also, are they going to add new content to this game as well? Are they going to add new DLC content to all three games? Or are they just going to leave them as they are and just polish up the graphics? Because honestly, I would be okay if they just polish up the graphics and make the game a little bit better. But if they did add new content, again, I wouldn't complain. Because in Mass Effect 2, you got that really epic DLC that they added, and in Mass Effect 3, where you get to run around the Citadel, like, I totally love that. I think it's so, so good. And in Mass Effect 2, you got to do the little party. So again, I'm excited. I am totally here for it. I love Mass Effect. I love BioWare. Again, if you're not following any of the devs on Twitter with BioWare, go do it, because those guys are freaking awesome. And if you guys, the BioWare team, if you guys see any of my content randomly, because I'm not that big of a YouTuber, but if you see it, know that I totally love your work. I think you guys do outstanding work, and I look forward to your future projects. But again, guys, how do you guys feel about it? Are you super excited to get your hands on the classic Mass Effect Trilogy? That's one of the games that literally changed RPGs, because it's responsible for a lot of the RPGs we see today. So are you excited about it? Or are you kind of like, yeah, I've played it. I don't really care, especially with how Mass Effect 3 ended. Oh, and that's another thing. Will they fix the ending of Mass Effect 3? I don't doubt. I don't think they'll do that, but I'm kind of hoping they do, because I want Shepard to have his happy ending, or her happy ending, with either Kaden or Dr. Liara T'Soni, who's my other favorite character in the franchise. So I'm so excited, guys. I can't wait. Leave your comments down below, and do me a huge favor. If you enjoyed any of the content that I discussed with you today, do me a favor by liking this video, subscribing to my channel, leaving me a comment in the comment section down below, then hit the notification bell so you're always notified when I'm uploading videos just for you kiddies. And then, guys, the most important thing you need to do is wash your hands, wear gloves, wear masks, use sanitizer, remember social distance, respect each other, give love to one another, remember all Black Lives Matter. I'm going to see you on the flip side, because you've been doing what I've been telling you to do, and that's live, think, and dream big. And with all that said, my pretties, bye!